Hey guys, what's going on? Ghost Dragon 1182 here, back for another episode of Coffee Talk. And in this one, I want to talk about a few things that Phil said in his weekend preview, and a couple other things here and there, but mostly that. Let's start it off with where he kicked it off in his video, talking about how last week was Combat Week and how he hopes everybody checks all those videos out from UFC 2 and Pokken tournament. And I have to say, I checked out some of the UFC videos, or the streams, earlier in the week, and man, that was some of the most boring fucking shit I have ever seen in my life. UFC 2 does not exactly lend itself to a streaming type of situation. It's just, and especially, well, someone like him shouldn't stream that game, because it's not exciting. He did take it online, but he didn't play very much of it online, so there wasn't any of those like really good rage-filled moments that most people look for when he plays fighting games. But let's see how those videos are doing. Some of them are a little old; they'll be about a week old, but some of them will only be a couple days old. But let's see how his fighting game videos are doing. And, he uploaded a montage for the best knockouts in UFC 2 on KO Gaming last night, so we'll take a look at that, see how it's faring for the last 8 hours or so. These would be... those views aren't very good. Yeah, they're a day old, but you got 915, looks to be the highest, with an average of around 3 and some change, couple 290s. That's not good. The UFC videos from a week ago aren't really faring much better. Couple, his highest one is the the character creator that has 10,000. That's kind of sad. And then the first couple fights video is about 6.7k. That's kind of where it looks like the interest immediately fell off. Nothing else even comes close to those two videos. And, for a small channel, that would be decent. But if you're trying to pay your bills off of that, that's not good. Now, I know, people are going to be like, well, your channels don't get any views. Yeah, I know. I'm also doing this for fun. I don't give a fuck about views. And my bills aren't being paid off of anything that has anything to do with YouTube. I don't make money off of YouTube. I don't even try to make money off of YouTube. So that's one of the major factors that separates us. Now, let's, we'll move on. I'm not going to beat a dead horse here on the views thing. Let's talk about some of the other things he brings up in his weekend preview. The second thing he brings up is his DSP Tries It video that he put out over the weekend, and it was a great one, and people loved it, and it was much requested, and it's one of the best ones he ever put out. Yeah, that's some fucking high-quality production there, and some fucking very highbrow humor, Phil.
Oh my god.
Who does that? What makes you sit there and think that's funny? Because, yeah, I laughed, but not for probably the reason he thought it would be funny. I laughed because I can't believe that a fucking guy in his early 30s would act like that. But, that's just me. But, and, shit like that, man. If I did something like that, if I had that stupid Batman mask on and I was like, "Rah, rah, rah," eating cereal and shit, and my girlfriend was sitting across the table from me, she'd be sitting there going, why am I living with this idiot? Where have I gone wrong with my life? And what do I need to do to escape? But let's move past that and we'll bounce over to the next thing he brings up, which is KO Gaming. So here's some views on KO Gaming videos. And the one he talks about in the week of preview is the Street Fighter V 1 month retrospective video, which he's like, I implore you to go check it out. Because, I don't know. I don't know why you need a review of Street Fighter V a month after release when you only played the game for 12 fucking days. But it's not exactly setting the world on fire. his original review did little, almost 8,000. I mean 7.6K. I think a lot of that was people typing in reviews for Street Fighter V in the search bar and came across it, started watching it, and was like, nap. But the best UFC 2 knockouts video, he uploaded 8 hours ago, and it doesn't have 1,000 views yet, which leads me to believe that montages will probably be dropped completely from KO Gaming if this video doesn't do well. That's just an idea I'm floating out there right now at the moment, but I'm sure he's going to talk about how much work he put into that video and why you should check it out, even though most of his knockouts in UFC 2 were fucking terrible. They were basically just him like throwing a dude across the ring or the octagon, and maybe like a punch later knocking him. I mean, I can't even stress how boring his UFC playthrough was, or any of his UFC 2 stuff was. But KO Gaming is not doing well. You figure the Street Fighter V review's a month old. The best of the week 1 finishes for Street Fighter V is a month old, and it doesn't even have 4,000 views yet. That's why I'm kind of leaning towards the review of Street Fighter V being strays wandering in, and at the very least giving the video a minute before they wander back out and look for a reviewer that actually knows how to review a fucking game. But what all this stuff kind of shows to me, especially with he's definitely been plugging the videos a lot more than usual, spamming them on Twitter. Please, please watch. He every time he mentions something in a pre-stream or vlog, even in the weekend preview, he was like, when people ask what Phil's doing, tell them to watch the weekend preview. Which then he immediately follows up with how he posts his schedule on Twitter. So what's the point of even having the weekend preview? But I know why. Money. The kingdom is crashing around him, that's for sure. I think we still have a few more months before he goes on full red alert. If April, which he thinks has these huge big releases coming out, which there's some good shit coming out in April, but if those releases tank for him, then I think we might start seeing more of a push towards the Patreon stuff, and a lot more of the please watch my videos stuff. And then if he makes it through the summer without a significant spike in views, then I think right around fall that'll be when we see the panic mode really set in, and he'll go full bore into the begging and the donating, or wanting people to donate to his Patreon. But I mean, the writing is on the wall, and even he knows it. He brings up that the previous week in preview barely had 3,000 views, and he looks very not trying to think of the word, but I mean, he looks defeated when he starts talking about that. So I think he deep down inside, whether he wants to admit it or not, especially he especially won't admit it publicly at the moment, he knows that the time is coming, and it's going to be time to pack it up. Also interesting to note, and I almost forgot about this, is Patreon, he claims, is not supposed to be a paywall to his content, but he took a game that he played for free on stream a couple times, and that game being Hearthstone, and it's now in the running for the Blizzard Marathon if the Patreon goal for March is met. So to me, kind of seems like if you want him to see play Hearthstone again, you got to pay for it, and that's the very definition of a paywall, Philly boy. But and I don't understand his choice in games for the Blizzard Marathon. It's WoW, Hearthstone, and the Heroes of the Storm. He's gonna, I don't know. That's just kind of odd. I think he would probably be better off with Hearthstone. Maybe keep Heroes of the Storm and switch WoW out for Diablo, but whatever. But yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting that Hearthstone got moved behind the Patreon paywall. And trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, I'm waiting. I haven't seen him address the the burn that Capcom fighters pulled on him when they said that their next batch of commentators is DSP and a homeless woman. But that he did ban some people in the IRC chat. Like one guy went into the IRC chat with the screen name Capcom Fighters and immediately got banned. So, but I mean, as far as I know, he hasn't directly mentioned it or said anything yet. But I could be wrong on that. But even still, I think we can all agree that the homeless woman would probably have more exciting commentary than Phil does. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this one up. I think I kind of rambled on for a little bit, and my mug's about empty, so I'm going to get going. But like always, guys, I want to thank everybody for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. All right, have a good one. Okay, while listening back to this, I tried to edit out as many as I could. Apparently, when I inhale, there's a little bit of a whistle. I have a terrible sinus infection, so any breathing that you can hear, I am very sorry about that.